right, welcome to the latest episode of the Dragon's Tome. I am your host this week, Chopper, joined again by the two second sexiest men in the world.
Second? That's salad fingers up top there.
We are second sexiest to one Mr. Young Salad Fingers himself.
We're tied.
So
Rob.
here we go. Okay.
I'm Rob. That's Jack.
Our
Our names are right there if you care.
Or over here.
There's Hubert Cumberdale. There's
Torch Crimson.
Coverdale Page.
Coverdale Page. Ooh.
no.
No.
It's yes and Jack. Yes and.
No, they're the finger puppets from. We're doing a theme here. And if you mention Salad Fingers,
I don't know what you're talking about.
Hubert Cumberdale, you have to follow up with.
I have no idea what. I've never seen that because it's terrible.
I don't even know what you guys are talking about. So we're gonna.
If you don't know what Salad Fingers looks up, you're on YouTube already. Look it up.
We're moving straight to the beginning of this show now. Episode 123 of Dragon Magazine 123. What month are we in now? July
87.
Happy 4th if you're American.
Or first if you're Canadian.
Oh yeah. So here we are, two guys making a sword. One guy with evil intent, the other one who just crapped his pants.
It's by David Clevet. He calls it Flame Tongue.
As I like to point out, and Jack likes to laugh at me, proportions of these human boys are good. So
Jack, Pat knows the proportions of human boys.
No, yeah.
Shirtless, hairless boys.
Shirtless.
Well, they're hairless because it all got burnt off.
All sweaty. So these guys are apparently making a magic sword.
Yeah.
I'm just surprised you said human, and when I was looking at it, I assumed that the shorter one was a halfling because of the hair and the whole thing. Until you said two human boys, I was like, no, the one's got to be a halfling.
No,
I can't see his furry feet, so I couldn't tell you.
His legs are bent, buckled, and down. The other guy's standing straight up.
I don't know. Does it? Maybe there.
But there is the guy with the hammer going like, "Yes, I've summoned the demon." The other kid's going like, "What the hell is happening?"
What is he holding up with the rope? It's just kind of a rope.
I think he's working the bellows.
Yeah, I think he's working the bellows.
That makes sense. I was like, he's just holding onto a rope.
Or he's through a grappling hook. I'm out of here. This thing is scary.
It's a strange cover. It's like, okay.
It is. Looks nice though. I'm not gonna say it's another one, that I think I've seen a couple times.
Have you?
Yeah.
Good for you.
So, all right. Well, let's start with your first article, Rob.
No, I get to start first again.
Sure.
How about you
Jack's only got two.
How about you start with somebody else this time?
I know you have like 7. That's why.
I got 1. So.
All right, Jack. Why don't you start it up?
Not me. I only have 1.
I actually got a lot out of this.
Well, that's good because I don't have much to talk about unless Jack steals my 1 here, but that'd be funny. And my 1, I don't have much to talk about. So, Jack, I concede this floor to you.
I accept the representative's time, and I will use it wisely. This will not be a filibuster. We're going to go to page 18.
That's good. That wasn't mine.
PDF 18.
It's one of mine, but I earmarked it to be stolen.
The Mystic
is that part of your game to find out what ones we steal from you?
Yeah.
This is a sizable article.
It's very long.
I don't know the practicality for a player or even someone who isn't world building for this, but what it is, James A. Yates has created kind of how to make a magical school.
Yep.
With how to stock the faculty, the reason why a powerful wizard would do it, it gets a little in the weeds at the end.
When it starts mentioning guys with no noses and kids with magic destinies.
Harry.
All right.
Well, actually,
I've never seen the movie, so I just assume it's a British guy at some point says Harry.
Well, she stole it from Wizards of Waverly Place, so Wizards of Waverly Place stole it from this. So that's the genetics of it.
That's the progressions.
Yep.
Your knowledge of Selena Gomez's and the DeLuise TV show has always been shocking to me, Rob. It's one of the things that impresses me most. So it goes for it's pages, and
it is very long.
It goes into minutia like
student advancement.
Well, that you would assume like okay, there'd have to be something, but it goes into like attendance and stuff like that. But
yeah. I mean, I get what you're saying because where I started to lose when we were talking about advancement of the students, their basic indoctrination, the word that he used, the word neophytes, I was like, neophytes, Jesus.
Well, it starts on page 18, ends on page 32, so that tells you something.
It's a lot.
Which I think goes against Roger Moore's purview, right? Didn't you say we were going to have a lot more articles and less?
Well, that's true unless you have not enough pages for a magazine. Then you're like, take the longest thing you got and put it in there.
But I wouldn't say it's the worst of the longest until it gets to like it gets to a point where how they would want to spread the school.
Oh yeah,
what you would learn and how
developing
many cantrips people would have. Like he gets deep in the weeds. I think you could have cut.
So pretty much he designs like a whole game system for this one thing.
Yeah, I mean there's territorial development for it and everything. It's nuts.
This could be a game in itself.
You're right. This could be.
Because for Call of Cthulhu, there's something called Bookhounds of London, which is literally you're just a librarian looking for books. And that the whole game is based on that. So it's like a spin-off of the Cthulhu mythos. But this sounds like it's the same idea, but it's just Wizards College in the D&D realm. That's the whole game. Maybe that's what his campaign is. And he just side-wrote it out.
It would. It did have the data to do something like that
today.
Yeah,
let's all go.
The characters play the headmasters or whatever, and
yeah.
Expanding their school out and teaching
Let's
children.
all be late for potions cast. See if they can catch us.
Well, nowadays, I assume there's a Harry Potter role-playing game. If not, that's a huge missing hole in the role-playing game world.
I'd be
very surprised if there isn't one.
I wish they would. If they did have one, it would have the Vince Clortho School of Magic in there too.
Yes.
If you haven't seen that Key and Peele skit, you need to check that out.
It is funny.
Inner City Magic is the best.
Much like your knowledge of Salad Fingers, I am a complete blank as to what you're talking about.
You never watched Key and Peele? It's funny.
I've seen a few, but I have no.
All right, we'll rectify that, and you rectify Salad Fingers for me.
Don't. One's funny, one is not.
All right. So this was Jack. Are you done, Jack?
Yes.
Are you done?
Yes. I will.
Rob,
much like the article, that went quite some time.
Are you ready?
Okay.
Or would you like me to go first?
Unless you're gonna steal mine. What page you going to?
I'm going to 15.
15. That's not mine, so you can go first.
All right.
Magic of the Forgotten Realms.
Music of the Forgotten Realms.
Oh, music, not even magic.
Yeah.
I'm so used to the word magic in this game.
This is Dr. Greenwood compares music of the realms to music of the earth. Kind of gives a breakdown of how music and what instruments there would be in the Forgotten Realms.
He makes up instruments. That's all I'm saying.
Well, he does and he doesn't. Though some of the instrument states have no counterparts on Earth, like what you're saying, I do argue based on some of these.
They actually do have
like the glar really is a description of the French horn, and the hand drum, which is a cylinder of thick polished wood with rawhide tied to the ends of it. That's pretty much every drum in Africa somewhere.
Yeah.
You know that you can.
What about a whistle cane?
The whistle cane is the one that he He does use the comparison pan flute, but the big difference there is that you can't tie the reeds together because the vibration of the reeds will make the other reeds sound. So
they're magic,
up, but kind of not. It was a very interesting little read and coming. The Zolkun was kind of like a xylophone, but really not.
Or like a squeeze box.
Yeah. So
was the intention, was Dr. Greenwood Esquire, was his intention to have your bard could play this and it be part of a thing, or was it just world building? Was it just like,
I think it was world building and things you can give other options other than the classical Renaissance medieval instruments that you would see those minstrels of the time playing. So these are other options that you give your bard instrument wise to play, and plus / world building.
Can I make an art history joke?
Sure.
You should have asked Gustave Doré to do the actual instruments. Meanwhile, this is a woodcut from like the 1500s.
So I found it to be a nice, interesting read, mainly because of my music background. But other than that,
I'm surprised the Who's in Who'sville would sing about that guy at Christmas.
Gustave Doré, Gustave Doré. It's true. They really loved his wood carvings, his woodcuts. Yeah. Who knew?
So, but that's it. Instruments in the Forgotten Realms.
Fun.
All right, Mr. Harper. What do you got?
We'll finally go to me. 56. Time flies.
Oh, I didn't get anyone. Oh, I left this because I knew someone was going to pick this.
Someone's going to get angry about this?
Yeah, there was no way anyone was going to take this.
Well,
there was no way.
It's Time Flies, but these tables will pin it down for you by Lisa Kabbalah. Lisa, you put the P in pedantic because this is crazy amounts of bookkeeping. Just say, okay, it's nighttime now.
Well, honestly, all you needed is just this one thing, this one square box. That's all you need.
Well, it's crazy amount of just like, you got to keep track of what this day is and what this minute is and what this second is.
It does give you charts, though. That is ridiculous.
Another page filler. Mr. Moore needed some page fillers because there's many pages of just empty charts to fill.
Well, the irony here is that he's got a Time article also.
Yeah, he does this. This is an addendum to her article. It's actually kind of useful. This one's actually how to make calendars for your different world systems and what world uses what calendar and how many days, and probably you should make it close to being the same as ours to make it easy. And most of them are, because you want to say a month is 30 days, and otherwise it gets confusing pretty quick.
Yeah, if someone said, hey,
next month come here, and then it's like 2 weeks later, you're like,
or you say, hey, it's the month of March, what festival's going on? And
that's what Ed Greenwood did.
Yeah. How would I know?
Ed Greenwood has his own months for Forgotten Realms because he's crazy. But
and I enjoyed that.
That's fine, but at least keep the same. Like you can call your months, like they say, make it 360, so it's easier. So it's exactly 12 months of 30 days. So it's a lot easier than our current real world. But yeah, he's just saying how there's all different ones. Even though that Karatur is in Forgotten Realms, they have a different calendar, which makes sense because it's got the more of a Eastern calendar going on. But generally, they're all about the same. And he says, if you're going to make your own calendar, kind of stick to these things. And don't make charts and do all this crazy stuff that this lady did. Because it's crazy. And a waste of space.
Crazy. Rest in peace, Lisa.
Lisa Kabbalah. Whoever you are, man.
I just think that whatever campaign she was running that needed to, because she says, you need to know throughout the year, your characters need to know certain things. I'm like, they don't.
I wonder if she went to school for statistics.
Yeah,
these charts look exactly
or she's autistic. One of the two. She's not statistics or autistic. One of the two. But
she's one of the first Excel savants.
Yeah, Excel spreadsheets. Yeah, but Yeah, because she literally says, "Oh, you got to know when the lunar eclipse is, and you got to know this and that." And we're like, "No, just say it.
No.
Tonight's the lunar eclipse." Okay.
And the players just go, "Oh, okay, yeah, that's great."
And like she
No
literally
one
says,
goes,
"Yeah, no,
"Hey,
it's
our
not."
last gaming session
Yeah.
was on a Wednesday.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
You said we slept 3 times.
Yeah, that's right.
Then we went for that trip. You said 2 days.
That lunar eclipse is not even coming for another month.
She even says
So
like to
you just
use like for the minute one. She use red things to tell when the torch is lit. Orange when the lantern's lit. Yellow when a candle's lit. Blue when a character goes underwater. Black when the character dies. So you can track the time. It's like Jesus.
No.
It's not that important.
No. All right. What do you got for your second article, Jack?
Well, second article for me. Oh, okay. Let's go to page 48.
You surprised him. Gammers around the world.
Gammers around the world, putting World Gammers Guide to good use. Now, this is by Heather Jemin. A lot of women writing these articles in this one.
Shows, I think it against popular belief, ladies actually are into this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, a couple of shirtless, hairless young men on the cover to lure them in, and then some women writing articles.
It's so true.
The juxt of this is, let's get back into the Wayback Machine. Let's harken back to the days when you wanted to talk to people of like mind. You would literally have to get out a pen and paper and write them. So this,
or put an ad in the paper.
This was looking at the Gamer's Guide, finding people who wanted to be pen pals, writing correspondence to other people
That's
who are
literally what it is.
games.
Yep.
She starts with some sound advice. Hey, fire off 4 or 5. Don't worry about the cost of the postage, because she said the vast majority of people will not write back, or you'll get a couple back and forths, but it won't work out. But when you do hit on someone like-minded, then you've got yourself a
boon companion.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's worth the time to put in. She's pretty much saying to find a few people that you're gonna really not hit it off with. So,
because there were no you weren't going on Reddit. You weren't talking to.
There was no Facebook,
other than like going to like a game store and meeting up people there. Like
yes,
or looking at the wanted board, looking for
in a college group or something. Yeah.
Well, game stores used to have looking for a group.
Yeah.
Cork boards that you would pin your number and you pull a little paper with your phone number on.
But for like, obviously, once again, D&D attracts a lot of people who are antisocial. This is a way that a lot like the internet does now, where it allows you to be more social because you're just writing it down. You don't have to think on your feet. You don't have to. It's a lot for those kind of people. You don't have to look people in the eye. Yeah. This is like for sure. This was the internet before the internet, and that's what. Many people hate the internet, but that really brought up a lot of people out of their shells, which would have had a horrible existence and not been social at all, or had shitty socialized lives. The internet really gives them that, and this the same thing with this. It was the pre-internet internet, really. What this is. It's a good thing.
It's a good thing.
But she gives under etiquette, which again, this is from way back bygone era. She recommends not using a typewriter because that's too
informal,
high tech, and doesn't have the personal feel of a handwritten letter.
All right, I will play devil's advocate with that and say, but what happens if your handwriting looks like a serial killer's?
Well, back in the day, people actually learned how to write with their hands, and I
learned how to write with my hands, and my penmanship looked like a serial killer still.
Well, there's exceptions.
I had someone for ransom.
Well, you cut the letters out of the paper.
I sent a letter to someone looking the game, and it'd be like, I don't have $1 million to give.
I just wanted to make friends.
Yes, she did say just take your time and write it properly and use your best spelling and grammar. And in the end, I think the point is that you would have I don't expect a lifelong friend, but definitely a pen pal, and then she said you could go on to maybe get in some play by mail gaming or just
meet up for some
even
sexy time.
Oh no, I don't believe she had mentioned any.
Or meet at the Gen Con.
I'm not going to rule that out. That didn't happen from time to time, but that was not the intention of.
Well, we'll have to check the crime blotters to see if.
I will say that I really see most of this leading to play by mail games. I never got into play by mail games.
No.
Again, I think someone writing about getting pen pals in Drag Magazine was of an age that she probably would boggle the mind what we do now on a day-to-day basis with just communications.
I'd say 5 years from now, I guarantee she was doing the exact same thing on the internet, on bulletin boards.
On bulletin boards, yes.
Forums.
100% with bulletin boards, yeah.
Chat rooms or what's the AOL? Yeah. I'm sure.
Yeah, the AOL rooms, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, for God's sakes, AOL spawned AOL parties.
Yeah, GeoCities back in the day, chat rooms. Like, there was tons of them back in the 90s, early 90s is when it all kicks off. So this is like the last gasp of caring about letters.
There was a need that was definitely fulfilled very quickly when the internet became what it was. Obviously, there was a lot of people who were like-minded and thought this is a conversation. Like the ability to talk to people and communicate was very important because it blew up.
Yep. And yeah, I'm sure she made a lot of good friends, boon companions this way.
Yes, for sure.
Rest in peace, Heather.
Rob,
as I was going to say, we have to check crime blotters to see if one of her pen pals she met up with murdered her. That's what I was going to say.
Exactly.
That's a logical conclusion to all this.
Do you have another one, Rob?
No, I think I'm truly tapped out. I only had one. Oh no, I had another one. Sorry, I did see I have one.
Right.
Page 5. It was the editors. It's
clever ruse. I only have one. Then gotcha.
Wow, this one is quick because it's this Harley thing. He's talking about people get upset when their characters die, and he had a character named Harley D. Quinn who was a gnome thief, I think. But he got up to 6th level, and he was so proud of him. When he died, he got mad and stomped off because it's Harley Davidson Quinn. Harley Quinn or Harley Davidson. Anyways, he got mad and stormed off, and then he realized, hey, what am I doing? This is only a piece of paper. And I think it's good advice for internalizing losing a beloved character, because it's happened to all of us, and we get upset, and you either stew about it, or you do get mad and stomp off. But it's like, just think about it. You're supposed to be having fun. That's just one part of having fun.
I don't know if I ever got mad because my character died.
Yeah, but you started off early enough that your characters died on a regular basis, right? I came in when characters were expected to live.
Yeah,
so you were
mad.
Yeah.
I remember being mad at the death of a character.
Yeah, me too. I have too. But it's I never stomped off or nothing, but you get a little pissy. But this is a good way to internalize it.
Off. I should have.
No, I mean, this is how you internalize it, and we'll be like, okay, this is how you think of it. It's just a piece of paper. You're having fun. Doesn't really matter.
I do remember playing a couple games of 2nd edition, where one of my good friends, Don, R.I.P. Don, his characters died almost on a gaming session rotation. Like
I think you've discussed this before.
Yeah, our night of role playing with Don would be us playing the character, his character dying. Then
he's rolling up a new character.
and rolling up a new character. And when he was done, we would meet this new character.
Yeah.
Oh God, Don, I love that guy.
But yeah, it's a good advice from Roger E. Moore. So
yeah,
if anybody,
my Shadowrun character.
I knew that's who you were talking about.
Shadowrun character.
Poor Judge Dredd.
That was a hard pill to swallow.
Yeah, because he died in such a stupid way. That's why.
One adventure, he woke up and there was a bomb in his chest.
Our DM was not very good, not very nice.
And then a couple games later,
I don't think it was in his chest. Wasn't it in his brain? I think it was in his brain.
I forget. I thought it was his heart, but something. But
yeah.
but I had the remote for it, And so then one day, someone just went and stole it between sessions, and
then the next session it blew up pretty much.
then I was like, okay, what do I do? And it just blew
All
up.
right. Well, I can understand why you were salty about that character death, because that was just really
I had him for years.
Unnecessary for you to be that way.
Yeah.
All right. I guess it's my turn then. Let's go to page 38.
38.
Arcane Lore by Mr. Harold Dolan. So this apparently is a new column that will showcase spells from Dragon Magazine subscribers.
Yep.
It doesn't say that if these spells will be quote-unquote canon.
No, they're not.
But some of them are dumb and some are okay, some of them are funny.
I think we're past the time of Gygax insisting on whether things are canon or not. I think it's up to your DM. Your DM decides if anything's canon now. So
sure. But some of them are funny, like Fallion's Fireball, which basically is a variable radius homing fireball.
Ooh, that's scary.
For every 2 levels you are when you cast this spell, it can turn one corner.
That's a good idea.
And then you can state how big the radius
is. So it's pretty much a cruise
blast.
missile.
Yeah, or a plasma missile. And then some are really crazy, like this Hellfire, which is a no-save spell, like death. Death word touch or death touch word or whatever death word.
Yeah.
So
once a week you could basically just incinerate. So somebody gonna die.
It's crazy. Like there's no save but there's magic resistance is effective for it. All your stuff is burnt to a crisp.
Your victim's hit point total is reduced to 1 permanently. So you're not dead. Your hit points are reduced to 1. Permanently. Your victim is in constant agony, and
like this spell. Now, if I was DM, this spell would not be allowed.
That seems over the top.
The Fabulous Fireball would be. Because
I guess that's what you get. Some asshole player. That's what you use against them. I think that's that's a GM spell to be like, you know what, this guy walks up to you and does this because you're a dick.
Yeah, a real bomb in the brain spell right there.
But I'm curious to see.
Jack's still salty.
We opened up a wound. We might need some therapy after this.
He's gonna go to our GM's house and just be like, "What did you do?" Just bang on his door.
Why would you do that?
There must have been a solution, but his idea, he'd be like, it's so simple. And we'd be like, it's not simple. You have to give us clues.
Exactly.
How are we supposed to know what we're supposed to do? He's like, oh, it's so simple. All you gotta do is this. And we're like, how would we know that? Yeah.
So I am curious to see if there's going to be any more of these arcane lores.
There is.
Or if and such to that.
Here's the answer. There is. This and there's another one called Legends and Lore or something. It's going to be all... back in the day, remember there used to be characters of like legendary heroes and stuff? That's coming back.
Yeah.
So fun.
All right. Are you guys both tapped out?
Jack, are you tapped out?
Yeah, that is the appropriate amount of articles.
Okay, so let me go to my second article then on page 52.
I'm starting to think perhaps there's some shenanigans afoot.
Well, it's in ecology. He has to do this one.
Oh.
So this again,
I
don't know if people are just running out of things to do, or because I did read
2 in a
letter,
row. Yeah.
I did read a letter that they were talking. They love the ecologies, but most of the ecologies are D&D specific monsters. Can we do some, or can you do some ecologies of things that can cross over different?
Yeah, this one's not by
systems.
Greenwood.
No, this is Mr. Anthony Gennard, and
it has to, if it's by Greenwood, it has to be D&D because it's Elminster.
So I label this as a meh ecology.
Well, yeah, it's because it's not by Dr. Edward Greenwood.
It's just the ecology of the giant leech, and there's nothing in the ecology part that's anything surprising. It's all stuff you learned in biology in high school. Basically, the story of this though is a half-orc assassin is supposed to be getting an orc guy. I guess he's part of the guild, the half-orc assassin. It's part of we got paid to get this orc some giant leeches to make poison that you can put on your blade that makes them not clot or makes them bleed to death.
It's called garlic.
Yeah. Well, anything. So then the story's just them walking through the swamp, and then he used basically the half-orc assassin used the orc as bait to get leeches.
I would think that giant leeches are less scary than normal leeches. Because when you got a giant leech on you, where a normal leech, you don't know necessarily it's on you, and
well, that's the thing here. This giant leech also secretes the numbing poison, so you can't tell when it's on you.
It's giant. You'd notice it.
Well,
so you're walking along.
According to this story, the orc had 2 on his back and 1 in the back of his calf. He didn't notice.
Well, I guess if they're on your back, but still.
They turn around to the rest of the party. I think it's this way. And you look and
Yeah.
So, again, disappointed by this ecology.
I'm more scared about what are they called, screwworms or whatever? The ones that go up your
the
pee-pee?
thing is, sometimes these middle of the road ecologies can be saved by a story, but this one was not saved by a story.
It's no Greenwood.
No, it wasn't a good one at all.
The 2 pillars of the ecology is an interesting monster and the fiction of the story.
Yeah.
And if you got both, then you're starting out strong. But if you lean the leech, okay, one of those pillars is looking a little shaky.
Yeah,
and then a bad story, the other pillar just knocks it right down.
And
then the whole thing comes crashing to the ground. So
there's salad fingers again. He's using his fingers.
Sorry about that, Mr. Gerard, RP, but
Rusty.
Don't look at Jack.
Rusty.
Probably the least favorite of all the ecologies I've done.
Wow, least favorite. This is the bottom.
Yeah, this is the bottom.
Really?
This is the leech of ecologies.
So, all right. So, let's wrap this and get to our ads. But let's go over my second article real quick on page 70.
I'm glad you got extra articles because I had nothing. This is a whole world ecology. Dear God.
This whole world ecology.
Yeah. The worst part is he's the one running the show. So he's saying he's going through this performative thing to fool not me, but
to fool himself.
Yes. What's he saying? I don't understand what he's saying.
Jack, just let him have his fiction. Don't burst his bubble.
We're only supposed to do 2 articles, right? Because this is my second article right here.
Yeah, but you're in charge. You can do whatever you want.
No,
he's keeping to the rules. That's right.
These are the rules set by you a long time ago, regardless of who's in charge.
I think it offends him more. It offends him more that
you've been very adamant since the beginning of time that we only do 2 articles.
This is something to learn about Jack. Jack hates false narrators. So
I do have a big problem.
And you're falling into that section right now. That's right.
I do. That's ruined many a book, many a movie.
So you're doing it to him right now. So that's why he's getting a little agita.
So this is I did this one because I haven't touched on Star Frontiers in a long time. But this is a small guide on how to make generic or better aliens for your Star Frontier campaign. If you don't want to use,
and I think it's pretty generic to any world because it's pretty much saying make sure makes sense in the world.
Yeah, so it's just a nice set of guidelines, including advice how to make sure, like one of the things is to make sure when you're creating an ecology and species on a planet that you're just visiting and seeing these people for the first time, there are certain things you want to make sure that make sense, like that you make sure that predators and prey are able to survive and not wipe each other out.
Or just generally, like, you're not having something that's skinny with no fur in the middle of a Arctic.
Arctic or these really skinny things on a high gravity planet.
Yeah. Or he gives an example of a bird flying over a jungle, like looking for, it's like what you can only dive into when there's an opening and hope there's something to eat then there. Like you have to be small enough to get into the canopy. Like you can't have giant birds in a rainforest. It doesn't really work.
So it's a nice little concise little guide about how if you want to populate a world, if you're playing a science fiction RPG and you're exploring. It's a good tool as a GM if you need to quickly, like, say you're a week out from the next session, you're like, oh god, I got to put some people on here.
I also think it's like if you're making a game too, like you're making a campaign world or just even a game in general. This is really good advice. Like, make it believable. Like, think about this stuff. You don't have to overthink it. Like he overthinks it a bit, where you have to know exactly all this stuff, but just the
A
generalities.
little bit, yeah.
It's
But
good to know.
all in all, it's a very good guideline.
Much like movies, they say there's only so many questions the audience can ask themselves and still be suspend disbelief.
Mm-hmm.
So in a role playing game, when you make the world, okay, I'll accept that. Oh, okay, I'll
Yes.
accept that. And then eventually you're just like,
That doesn't
okay,
make sense. Yeah.
yeah, another one. Okay, if you keep it so consistent that it doesn't get people to start questioning the world, why, like you said, a giant pterodactyl-sized thing would fly through,
Mm-hmm.
would hunt ground prey through a canopy.
Especially if you're being attacked by them, you'd be like, that doesn't make any sense. I'm hiding
That
behind a
makes
tree.
no sense. Yeah, so it would help to keep your narrative and everyone invested,
and keeps you invested in the game. Yeah, like you say, that's
All right.
an important thing for a GM to remember.
100%. As long as you keep people invested.
Yep.
All right. Who started it out? Rob, why don't you give us your first add-in since that was all the articles.
I got 5 ads, so we're gonna go.
I got quite a few ads also.
I'm sure we're gonna cover most of them, but number 2, page 2.
That was one of mine.
Yeah, Games Workshop Rogue Trooper. I brought this one up. It's a board game. This one, $27. Pretty cheap for a board game, probably, but it's only brought this up because there's a new movie coming out soon. It's in development by David Bowie's son, I believe, Duncan Jones. But Rogue Trooper, a 2000 AD property about a mutant, futuristic warrior. Yeah, I think he's a mutant. Anyways, yeah.
I hope Sam Rockwell is playing a mutant.
I think they announced who it's going to be. I can't remember now though. I think, is Haley Atwell going to be in it? That's all that matters. I think she is.
I'll watch that.
With one hand. Anyways.
Easy.
Rogue Trooper, the board game from
I need 2 hands.
GW seems to have a lot of licensed stuff happening too.
At this point, because in my notes I go, now we have this. I must have missed a series or something, because it was seeming like these were all connecting and somehow, like Chainsaw Warrior, Rogue Trooper, blah blah blah,
tons
blah
of,
blah blah.
They're just throwing everything against the wall right now. It seems like.
Yeah.
And being British, I guess they easily got the 2000 AD properties. So.
Yeah.
Because they had Judge Dredd before.
Eventually, the sixth game was Chainsaw Man versus Rogue Trooper in space.
Chainsaw Man.
That's
a good game. I love that game, Chainsaw Man.
It's a famous anime now. That's my first ad.
Mr. Fike, your first ad?
We're going to go to page 81.
Right to the back. Paranoia.
Paranoia will destroy you.
81 to 83. So this is a 3-page spread. I don't know how much this would have cost. Full color, the whole shebang. This is the second edition of Paranoia, and it's got how much. There's a box set. There's accessories. There's a whole host of modules.
Box set's only $16.95 for a box set. Those were the days. That's all I'm saying.
West End Games must have forked out a bundle. I can't imagine how much this cost. So I know Paranoia was a success, and I know it still has longevity. So it wasn't for naught. It wasn't like you see this and go, I never heard of that.
It's a fun game.
A good friend, longtime listener, good friend of the show, Jeff Leeson, worked on this RPG too.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
that's cool. It's a crazy. If you never played Paranoia, it's irreverent. I would say that is the game. You're gonna die a lot, but your clone just comes back, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It basically is a computer that tells you, hey, you have to hunt traitors, and you go, oh, okay, that's great, and it says yes, but
you're a traitor
because you are, and he says, yeah, okay, and I also told everyone else to hunt traitors. Oh, okay, but they are all also traitors. Go to work as a team.
Yeah, pretty much.
I do like the fact that they did make the new rules compatible.
Yeah,
with the old adventures too. So
yeah, it's all adventures are compatible with the second edition rules. That's a good way to do it, especially with this kind of game. But it's I don't remember the system. I remember playing it. I just don't remember the system at all. I don't know if the system mattered.
I think I played Paranoia at a convention, not
Yeah, me
Gen
too.
Con, but a
That's where we
convention,
played it too. Yeah.
and I've never played it ever since.
Yeah, we played it.
I mean, I enjoyed it. I had a great time playing it, but
Yeah.
then I just never played
It
it.
was never. I think you have to have a really good GM for this kind of game because they're really playing up the. If it's not humorous, it's be frustrating as hell. So you have to make it humorous.
Yeah. Yeah. But some people must have loved it.
They must have. It was very popular. And yeah, Pat, is it your turn?
Yes, it is. All right, let's go to page 89.
89. That's not the one I thought you were going to go to.
Well,
Top Secret SI,
Top
the
Secret.
second edition.
Second edition, didn't play it at all, but I just wanted to point it out because Top Secret was a fun game that I enjoyed.
Yeah, this
in
is the new version.
Role playing game.
Yeah.
So I never played the second edition version.
Do we know what SI stands for?
Ooh.
No, I don't.
I've always seen it as Top Secret SI, and I never knew what it meant.
Secret Institutions?
Spies Inc.
I don't know. Is it? Yeah. Was it another game that combined with Top Secret, and then they just combined it into one game? I'm not sure. If you know, answer below. That would be something we'd like to know. But yeah, they say it's faster and easier to play than the original, which is probably always good.
Yes, the first one was a bit rough. It was a lot of
charts. Wasn't it a lot of charts?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Special intelligence.
Yeah, there you go. Pat keeps answering all the answers. You're supposed to answer below, but Pat answers. They ruined your surprise.
Because it's gonna bother me.
I hope you wrote it below, and then you write, "Oh, Pat already said it. Thanks for nothing, Pat."
Yeah.
I want you to write that.
I
want everybody to write, "Thanks for nothing, Pat."
Just chastise me.
Yes, chastise Pat in this one. And then months down the line, when people are chastising him, we're like, "Wow, people really hate Pat in this episode."
In the group text, we're talking. Hey, our sound guy Tony said Pat's getting a lot of verbal spankings in the comments. What? And we all check. What's this about?
Yeah, it'll happen.
I'll own it. What do you got, Rob, for your?
This is the one I thought you were gonna do. Maybe you will do this one, so I'm stealing it from you. But page 54.
No, it's not.
Speaking of West End games, another ad from them. It's coming soon. Star Wars, the role-playing game. This is a game changer right here. This is big deal.
This is and to this day, I think some people prefer this version than the Fantasy Flight version.
Oh, I guarantee you. This is all D6, I think I remember at the time. And it's a classic.
We played this.
Yep.
This version, I believe.
We did indeed, and it's this game also influenced the movie, all the new movies. Like a lot of the stuff comes from these rule books or these supplements. Like there's tons of stuff that like, oh yeah, that was first introduced in the role playing game. Like it's amazing, like actual races and characters, and like a lot of things come from this role playing game. So it's not just important to role playing games because it kind of revitalized the role playing games at this point. It also influenced the later movies, so that's kind of fun. This and the card game, the CCG that comes out in the 90s, are the two things that influence a lot of the future Star Wars projects.
Yeah.
So, I just wanted to mention it. It's coming soon. The big blue book.
All right. Jack, do you have anything you'd like to add? New ad? Would you like to add an ad?
I thought he was being punny there.
Page 70.
70. 70? There's an ad on this? There's no ad on this page.
No. We just threw it out there. He's being...
Jack, are you just being a jerk?
He's being Jack.
I did my ad.
You have two ads.
I do?
Oh, well. I have another ad,
page
Pat.
72.
Okay. There's no ad on 72.
There's a cartoon. That's
there is. Yeah, once upon a time. It's Task Force Games. It's making something. Is this what you meant to?
No, I didn't want to do two ads, but I remember this one. This is the same people that make the Tricks and Traps series, and it's there's the best fighter in the world, but he's dead now. A good wizard, he's dead now. And this dude here who picked up the latest book, Tricks of the Trade. I never bothered to look up and see what it was, what's inside it, or but.
This company exists to make generic things for other role-playing games.
Little hangers-ons, little tidbits.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I was forced under penalty of death to have a second ad. So
There's no penalty of death. There's just gentle hugs and
You could have just said, "I don't have more ads, Jack." You didn't have to trick us and tell us a number. Then we were the fools then.
All right. So I'm gonna hit one of my ads.
Sure.
This is the one I thought you were gonna do, so I skipped it.
I got tons.
I'm gonna do.
I got like
page
6
37.
other ads. Yep, I got one of these. Yep.
Yeah.
37.
I was going to mention this one because Pat actually has some of these.
Yeah. But I mentioned this only one because MechWarrior.
It's MechWarrior ones, and it's got the actual for the role playing game. So it's actually the characters.
Yeah.
And it's. I think you got the. Did you get the Steiner one? I think you might have gotten the Steiner one.
Mm-hmm.
But it's also got a Wolverine and a Battlemaster, both of which are unseen because they were from other animes. So
that is correct.
It would have been nice. They're $3. It's about.
Not $3 anymore.
No, they're about $10 now. I think $12,
yeah.
Something like that. Not bad. But yes, Ironwind Metals has all these. If you're ever at any convention or you can go to their place, go to Ironwind Metals because they got all these miniatures.
You do, especially if you're a fan of the old Ralph. They even some of them have the old Ralph, the Shadowrun ones too. So you're looking for some of those.
They have, they have a lot. I think they keep a lot in stock. So there's a lot of fun stuff in the Ironwind Metals site. Good friends of the show. Good friends. We're always trading with them at Gen Con. So
at the Gen Con. All right, Rob. What do you got for an ad?
I got 2 others. I got page 9.
I have 2 others also.
Page 9 is Cthulhu is Coming. It's just a bunch of fun Cthulhu stuff, and there's a deep one, and like some kind of Shoggoth or something. But yeah,
I thought it was a polyp.
It could be. No, the flying polyps have wings.
No, it is flying polyp because it says flying polyp.
Oh, it does on the side. Oh, yeah, it does.
Oh, it does. Oh,
there you go. We had a drink called the Flying Polyp. But yeah, full color, a lot of full color ads, and now we got a full color Call of Cthulhu ad.
Yeah. I'm very excited to see. I think this is the first edition of Arkham Horror that's coming out.
Arkham Horror and Masks in the Lethertep, classic game. But yeah, Miskatonic U. I believe Jack, you played part of Miskatonic U at a convention, and you ruined it right off the bat. I believe by reading the book. Was that you?
It was the author of the book too that was running it.
You get like a magic book right off the bat, and Jack read it out loud like instantly.
No, what happened was when we got to the location, I was there with a buddy of ours that also played, and I said, my character said to his, I'll go look at the body in the well. And I went over there, and the guy goes, well, okay, you looking, there's a body in the well? Yeah, how did you know? And I was like, well, I don't know. I just thought it was a body in the well. Midway through, it had something to do with that was part like a huge clue that something was afoot. I forget what it was. And then, yes, a book was read and the rift opened up and the whole thing happened. But
he ruined the guy's campaign pretty much.
Yeah, we didn't know who he was at the time, and it was afterwards. We're looking at the book, and it was named on the. And actually, my buddy got a signed copy.
Signed, yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Fun times. Good old.
We didn't know. It's as if Rob had met someone, say like a
famous, very famous game designer.
Game designer, and just forgotten. I don't know. I
know.
Remember the name.
We went to UbiCon the very first year that White Wolf put out all their vampire games, and we met the Ryan Hagen guy. Like, just met him, and it turns out, now he's like a god amongst these the new age kind of what they call that kind of role playing. It's got a different name, anyways. Storytelling role playing or whatever. But yeah,
or storyteller.
Yeah, we just met him and we're like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah, whatever, dude.
Like you don't realize
nice fangs, dude.
Yeah, he was kind of a poser. But yeah, it's funny. You just end up meeting people and then later on realize, oh, that was somebody famous. I've met tons of Gen Con. You run into people all the time at Gen Con. You're like, oh, that's someone famous. like Pat.
And then you forget.
Pat standing in front of Ed Greenwood and us just making fools of ourselves. Me and Andrew.
I was chatting with him though.
Yeah, but me and Andrew were just playing with a bunch of money.
Yeah.
It was funny. Anyways, that was my other ad.
A 92 for my ad.
92. Forgotten Realms. Yeah, is this the box set coming
Forgotten
out?
Realms campaign coming out in August. This was my D&D world when I played it when I ran
ours
D&D
too,
game.
for sure. This
So
it's his second edition campaign world is Forgotten Realms, and I remember
I think
this box
is the first edition one though.
It's like this is what
I
they
think
were
this is
building up to be second edition, but this
yes,
is
because this is the cover picture, but not the cover title.
yeah, that's right. It doesn't look like this. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. So,
but that's the whole second edition is based in the Forgotten Realms.
Yeah.
And Forgotten Realms is a classic setting. Fun times.
Good times.
Good times. Moonshade.
Just want to pull it out and
Waterdeep.
show
The various boulders and
Baldur's Gate.
Neverwinter.
That's a good one.
I have another ad.
Yeah, go ahead.
This one is page 11. This is the one that I wanted to talk to Jack about because this is the full page version of the Secession Wars box set. And look at this art. Look at this beautiful, beautiful art. I like this lady down here with the laser gun with the funny hair. And yes, Hans Davian and some kind of Kurita.
I thought this guy had bullet holes in his chest when I realized it was planes.
Yes, planes. And the Merrick with a Merrick tattoo on the middle of his forehead.
Oh God.
And the Lao with the schemy little Lao. I assume the girl is Melissa Steiner, or Katrina Steiner, I should say.
She's got that crazy look on her, so maybe it's the crazy one.
No, it isn't. She hasn't around yet.
Some sort.
It's a Steiner ring. Yeah, it's a Steiner ring. But it has to be Katrina because this is way before all of the schmozzle with Katrina.
That's true.
I mean, this is Katrina, the original Katrina, not Catherine who became Katrina.
Yeah. This is the Secession War, though. This is the fights.
Yeah, this is the fourth Secession War. This is actually probably third Secession War because fourth is when they get married and this lady's daughter marries the old man over here.
Yeah,
she's like 16, he's like 50, so it's it's one of those things. But yes, classic art.
So her daughter married Sean Connery there.
Yep.
Yes.
Oh.
And then their children, one of them turns out to be Victor, who's a very good person, and then another daughter is Catherine, who changed her name to Katrina, who's very crazy.
Very crazy.
Cray. She actually kills Melissa.
So two things. I see tanks and aeroplanes here. So is that in addition to BattleTech?
This is a board game. This is like
So
it's got the land and sky forces that aren't robots.
Yeah,
you're taking over planets.
It's troop. Yeah, it's troop movements and everything.
This is like huge scale. You're taking over planets, and it's like kind of like Risk, but with the BattleTech universe.
And my second question is scale. I can see the pilots
no
of
scale.
that.
The scale is wrong.
Robot. I can see through the canopy.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Does that seem? Because we've seen some where you're like, no.
Yeah, that's
not.
Yeah, that's about right. But there's two people in that one, which it's that's kind of changed. Although I guess you can have command ones that have two people, but yeah, it's the scale is kind of up and down with BattleTech. Yeah. Sometimes they're huge, sometimes they're little.
Especially in the artwork, their proportions are also very bad.
Yeah,
as we've seen in some Dragon magazine covers.
But yeah, so I just that is a Battlemaster, and it's fun.
All right. I got one last ad.
Yes.
Page 99.
99. Chase
gives chefs around for money, and all I can say is, what is it? I don't know anything about this game.
I assumed it was just tag.
It shows like a sneak preview of the board, and it looks like a six-sided dice system of some
It looks
sort.
like it actually looks like Dreadball.
It looks like Dreadball.
10 dice across. Oh, you're maneuvering dice across a game board.
So I assumed it was dice-based checkers of some sort.
It is. It seems like whatever the die roll is, maybe that's how powerful they are.
Well,
who knows?
In my mind, I thought, is it what's the statistical probability that they just chose random numbers for those dice? But also, what if because it's 2, 3, 4, 5.
You get one of
What
each.
if you get 4 dice?
That's a
Those
small
are the
straight.
things, and only the ones can, the higher number can take the one below it or something like that.
I bet it's something like that, yeah. But it
So
says a game of changing strategies, so I assume you do roll the dice.
Oh, okay. Well, this is all just
so like you're like, oh, I'm a 1 right now, and then you roll and you get a 6. Ha ha! I'm a 6 now, mother effer.
And then you start stampeding across the board. You were retreating only moments earlier. Yeah.
Yeah. I when I saw Chase, I assumed it was just like the laser tag. I assumed it was just another them just making stupid rules for like tag or kick the can.
Kick the can. All right, Rob, are you done with ads?
I am done with ads. I have no more.
No, so am I.
Perfect timing.
So we're here at the end of the show then. Unless you have another ad, Jack, we would more than love to hear from you again.
Age 70.
No.
No, we're not falling for that again.
Fool us once, shame on you.
Cut his mic. He's done. Steve, cut his mic.
I can do that. I can actually mute him if I want to. That, see?
Yeah.
He's not muted. He just forgot how to talk.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's bring this fairly long episode to a close. 122. I hope everyone enjoyed it.
3.
Please,
it's 23.
123. Please leave your scathing comments about how I answered the questions before you did.
I forget what we wanted you to write, but you'll remember more than I do.
Top secret.
No, it was thanks, Pat, for nothing. I think that's what it says.
That's what it was. All right. Well, let's roll it up. Like, share, subscribe, the whole kind of deal. Please comment. We enjoy them. We laugh. We joke. Jack doesn't either. He's lost his sense of humor.
Yeah, he's very serious, man.
The further we get along in these magazines, the more the humor goes out of his body.
Let's make fun of him not being able to talk.
Let's make fun of him. Yeah, it's great. You're doing good work, Steve. All right. For the Dragon's Tome, I've been your host, Chopper.
I'm Rob. Never say he doesn't keep the bit going. That's all I'm saying.
He doesn't stick with the bit. He sticks with it all till the day he dies. So for next week, it'll be the Dragon's Tome. We'll talk to you then. Except for Jack.
Bye-bye.